critique of this debate and some advice for the next one, master thespian James Lipton, host of Bravo's Inside the Actor Studio. Mr. Lipton, always a pleasure to have you on set. I am very eager to hear of what you made of both performances last night, but let's start with the president.
May I start with Romney?
Yes, should I? You know what? Let's go for it.
Roll right over, Alex. The way that Romney rolled over the election. The thing about, number one, I came to first because I'd written this piece for New York Magazine.
Yes.
About how to act human, giving him advice in performance, giving Romney advice. Since then, I've tried to pursue him, but that's not easy. He's very elusive.
Yes.
And a number of personas. He keeps recasting himself. And so I've tried to nail it down. Before last night's event, I had come to the conclusion that I finally had typecast him, because he can't play a character role. He's not a good enough actor. And this is the conclusion I came to, that he is that boss who makes lame jokes at which we are compelled to laugh at peril of our jobs.
Yes.
And
I don't know any bosses like that.
Last night he more or less erased that image. With the significant cooperation of the president, he presented a brand new, as you all said, and different Romney, relishing the occasion, filled with facts, right or wrong, true or false, but filled with them and delivered with great conviction and with energy. And unfortunately for the Democratic campaign, another President Obama showed up. And this president was particularly visible and evident and revealing in the split screens. The split screens are dangerous.
Yes.
Because during the split screens, you're thinking, you're waiting, and somebody else is talking. And as others have described it, I won't belabor it, he looked down, he looked away, he looked uncomfortable, he looked like he was waiting. Sometimes he looked at the moderator beseechingly, as if to say, get to me for God's sake, because something's going wrong.
And we're showing some clips we just showed some clips of Mitt Romney in the split screen looking at the president while he was speaking. Did you find that to be an effective device?
Very effective. But look, since my business is not politics, but performance, when an actor is dealing with a partner on stage, that's when it's happening. There's a partner on that stage. There are two people on that stage. And Romney dealt with his partner. He addressed the president. He spoke to the president. Obama seemed significantly to avoid him. While he was off screen, while he was waiting to speak, and even when he spoke, he was speaking, I don't know to whom he was speaking, maybe the audience or maybe the moderator, but he was speaking off camera. He had an opportunity to speak to the camera, which is to say, speak to us,
right,
or to speak to Romney. Those are the only two people on that stage with him. Those are his partners. And he avoided them both studiously. What a beginner's mistake for a great politician.
Yeah, you would see him actually pivot for his line of sight. It's very clear he's shifting back from Jim Lehrer to the camera to Mitt Romney. Hugo.
I wanted to just comment on Romney's sort of split screen, sort of expression as Obama was talking. I thought it was incredibly good because I was trying to read it and it had this kind of this frown, a little condescension there, a little incredulity, but it felt meaningful. And I was thinking, I was like, I think it's the expression you have when you're firing someone that you like. You know, and you just want to go in there and be like, I really like you, but you haven't lived up to to my expectations.
Which is exactly what they're trying to channel.
And it's also something that I would gather Romney had some personal experience in. So it was very consistent. Romney's expression was basically that throughout almost the entire debate when Obama was talking.
The other thing, and this has been noted, there was a sense of happy warrior that Romney was channeling, and that we've said the president seemed tired, but also that he didn't want to have to go through this.
Right.
I thought it was really pronounced in the very opening moments of the debate, and I wonder what you guys thought of this, when the president immediately started talking about Michelle and their anniversary, but it was really Romney who I thought owned the joke. Let's play that sound. If we have it. Maybe we don't have it. We don't have it. Okay, so basically, Romney says, or Obama comes on stage and says, 20 years ago I became the luckiest man on earth because Michelle Obama agreed to marry me, and so I want to wish Sweetie happy anniversary and say that next year we won't be celebrating it in front of 40 million people. Miles chuckles, but he seemed nervous. Romney says,
joke for sure.
Congratulations, Mr. President, on your anniversary. I'm sure this was the most romantic place you could imagine here with me. It was great. It was a great line from Romney, not known to be funny.
He hit the knee hard, too. too.
From the start, I think he had command personality disorder, but he was able to work that in an extraordinarily confident fashion. He came in against type. As Mr. Lipton has indicated, he owned that moment. He owned that stage. He wanted to own Obama with all of those troubling consequences, and he did so, I think, because he presumed that he would tell his facts, he would tell his truth, he would do it with vigor. And you can study Aristotle and Plato and Kenneth Burke and every master of rhetorician. You connect emotionally, you articulate your viewpoint, and people believe in the perception of your command. And last night, he was unquestioned in terms of his supremacy.
I thought that was significant. While Romney was freely and blithely contradicting all the previous Romneys, he was unchallenged by the moderator and unchallenged by the president. That I thought was extraordinary. I couldn't believe it. I kept waiting for the president to give answers that any one of us at the table and almost anyone watching the program could have given. They were obvious answers. Yes. Oh, yes. I agree.
Mr. Lipton, going forward, what tact do you think the president needs to take? Because clearly there was a calculation that he was not going to punch down, that he needed to be above the fray. But at the same time, everybody's calling for more passion, more of a sense of indignation about the half-truths and lies that are being put forward by Mitt Romney if you're President Obama.
In my world, you can't invent passion. Passion is something that you possess. The way Ted Kennedy possessed it. Great politicians and great actors possess it. It's not something you can pretend to. That was Romney's present. That was Romney's problem before this debate last night. Now, oddly enough, it's become the president's problem. And I think most significantly, the questions that Obama did not ask and the responses he failed to make qualify for a wonderful French expression, which is l'esprit de l'escalier, which means staircase wit. It's the great retort that you think of as you've left the party and you're on your way down the stairs.
Right.
That was full of it last night.
At the rally.
Precisely. Well, yes, but then it's a bit late. There aren't 60 million people watching the rally. And I think that what Obama absolutely has to do is to gird his loins, prepare himself very carefully, and to go after his opponent the way his opponent went after him. Romney is vulnerable. He said things last night that the world may or may not know are false.
Yes.
And it's the job now, I think, of the Democratic Party and of the president to point it out continually and to bring it to the front and the fore in the next debate and to look at his opponent and to look at the American people and say this is wrong and this is what is right. He's capable.
And no more bon chance on that.
I think that what Mr. Lipton said is a brilliant strategy, the gird his loins strategy.
Well, bon chance. I'm keeping with this French thing, l'esprit de l'escalier, Mr. Lipton.
But you know something? There was an expression John Greenleaf, who was a great poet, said, for all sad words of tongue and pen, the saddest are these, it might have been. And that was what happened last night to the President of the United States, and that is what must not happen again. And I was taught by Lawrence Langner, the President of the Theater Guild, that the most important, when I was writing plays for them, that the most important moment of your play are the last 2 minutes before the audience goes out to intermission, because that's all they'll remember, and that is where, oddly enough, the President found